Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the podcast, The Pocket Stylist. I'm Lisa Talbot and today I am joined by Aimee, and I'm really excited because I first met Aimee about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, where we first kind of came into contact with each other. But the initial kind of contact I had was with Aimee's mum. Now, Aimee's mum contacted me and said, I'd really love to buy my daughter a present because she's going back to work after having a baby and she's a little bit unsure about what to wear or how to dress for her body shape, etc. So that's how I first met Aimee. And we're going to talk about today about going back to work after you've had a baby and kind of how to rework the wardrobe, maybe going back into a job that has changed slightly and maybe the dress code's changed slightly as well, because since the pandemic, people going back to work, for a lot of them, they haven't been in the office for a long time. So we've got a bit of a double whammy. So first of all, let me say hello to Aimee. Aimee, hello, how are you?
Hello, Lisa. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. And it's lovely to be with you. And thank you ever so much for inviting me on to join you on the podcast. I listen to it religiously, so it's quite a privilege to be invited on. So thanks.
Bless you. Oh, you're more than welcome, because do you know what as well? You've got a really good story, because there are so many ladies who, who have babies and then they are off work for a period of time, and then actually going back to work is not daunting, but it's that I always get the conversations where ladies say, Lisa, I haven't been at work for a year. I don't know, have they changed their dress code? I don't know what I've got in my wardrobe. So just explain to the listeners, what kind of made you have that conversation with your mum? And was it kind of thinking about, gosh, I'm going back, I'm not sure what to wear? What was the initial kind of conversation you had with your mum then?
So really, it's something that I'd always wanted to do, but I've kind of never really struggled with what I wore. But after having my daughter and being in lockdown, everyone was wearing slouches. Like everyone lived in slouches, and obviously after you have
a waistband.
Yeah, and after having a baby, that's what you do. And also my body had changed so much, so that I think every woman can relate that whether you've had a baby or not, when your body changes and fluctuates, you think, oh, can I still get away with that? Is that still okay? And a lot of the things that I was wearing, I've always worn. I started in that job in 2014. That's quite a long time relatively. I'm now a mum. Not that I'm saying you should change what you wear because you're a mum, but I just was trying to put things back on, and I was feeling a bit like, oh, I don't feel right in this. And because I'd obviously, I knew about you before, which is why I'd sort of said to Mum, I'd really it was you that I was really interested in having the time with, because I just felt a little bit lost really in what to wear. Like my body had changed. I'd lost most of the baby weight. I mean, I'm a little bit heavier than I was, but I could get in all of my old clothes still. Granted, they were a little bit tight, but I just was a bit like, I don't feel comfortable going back into work wearing what I'd always worn. Yeah. And also, because I was going to go back part-time, my wardrobe didn't reflect that, because I had my wardrobe previously was for full-time working. So the stuff that I would wear to work, I never used to wear out of work.
Yeah. So you compartmentalized your wardrobe then, did you? Absolutely. It sounds like you had work and then out of work.
I actually, Lisa, this is really awful, but when we moved into the new house, I actually had a separate work wardrobe. I mean, not everyone has that luxury, I know, but because we moved into the house as lockdown was announced, and obviously I was pregnant, so I was in maternity, all my work stuff just got put into the spare room wardrobe and left there. So when it was thinking about coming back to work, I literally opened this wardrobe, this separate wardrobe that I hadn't really even looked at for a year. And if I'm honest, panicked. I was like, I don't even know what to wear to my kit days. Like, I don't know what to turn up in, because what fits, what's comfortable, and what suits my body style now. So yeah, I think if I'm honest, a little bit overwhelmed. I think most people can probably relate with that.
Yeah, because I think it's really interesting where you compartmentalized your wardrobe. Lots of ladies do it. They either obviously have a separate wardrobe, or in their own wardrobe, they're like, no, that's work, that's casual, that's weekend, that's for going out, that's for events, or all that type of thing. Yeah. And actually, when you don't, if you do that, what happens is when you then go back to work, what you have is this wardrobe that you haven't actually seen for a very long time, because you kind of in your own brain go, right, that's work. And then when you're not at work, the at work wardrobe just really does get forgotten about. And interestingly enough, that's why a lot of ladies, even during lockdown, because they were at home and the way they worked, whether they were on Zoom or whether they were whatever, they still didn't wear that work wardrobe. Yeah. And then what happened was we did a whole piece about, let's repurpose the wardrobe, because there's probably pieces in your wardrobe that are absolutely beautiful that could be worn, for example, with a pair of jeans, or you could wear the trousers that you've got with a pair of trainers, or you could add in a sweatshirt over a dress, or excuse me, or something like that. But it is really interesting how, as you made that step of, I'm going back to work on this date, the feeling of overwhelm didn't come over you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, didn't come over you because of going back to work. It was more about, oh my God, I've got nothing to wear, or what do I wear?
Absolutely. I actually was really excited to go back to work. I was really excited to see the team. I was really excited to go back and work with the students. I love what I do. But yeah, absolutely, Lisa. I literally was like, oh my goodness, I'm going back into the office and I genuinely don't know what to wear. I can't wear my maternity stuff or some of the bits because they're now too big.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can wear the stuff that I was wearing before, because I just didn't feel that they felt, I didn't feel good in them, basically. And I felt that would be quite obvious and would show. So I think in the end, I ended up wearing a trusty, faithful leopard print dress, because I do love a little bit of leopard print. Yeah. A pair of leggings and Chelsea boots, because Chelsea boots, well, I always wear those, can't really go wrong for me personally. Great, flat, don't need to worry. Leggings, comfortable, great. Black leggings, again, comfort. And the leopard print dress was easy, chuck on, covers everything up, don't have to worry about it. But that isn't something I would have ordinarily have worn to work, that particular style dress. It's something that I probably would have worn as a more of a not a casual dress with a leather jacket, but I would have worn out. It wouldn't have ever been something I would have worn to work. So, and I wore it and I wasn't sure if that was the right thing to do or not. And then I was like, okay, I can't keep feeling like this, and I've only got one dress I can wear, and I've got to go back for 3 days, so I can't wear the same dress for 3 days.
So did you find, when you did go back, did you find the ethos of the office from a dress, I don't really like the word dress code, but for what people tended to wear, had it shifted since the pandemic, or did people kind of just almost drop back into what they used to do?
No, I think they were wearing what they used to wear. I think because of the nature of the job that we do, we were smart casual. We work with youngsters 16 to 19 on a training program. So, and you know, the young people that we get are young people that haven't necessarily always enjoyed school. So we've always had to dress in a way where we can show them what smart looks like, but we aren't putting them off. You know, if I would never have gone to work on a day when I was absolutely, but if I was going to do a presentation or their graduation, or I was going to, you know, do an event for the council as a wider event, then I would wear a suit dress or something, but I wouldn't ever see the students like that, because you just don't get anything from them. So I think from that perspective, no, I think it was more of a me thing than a going into the office after COVID thing, because everyone else was pretty much dressed as they would be beforehand.
Yeah. So then your mum bought you the How to Dress Your Body Shape, which is the consultation that I carry out for ladies, where we go through necklines, we go through sleeves, trousers, skirts, everything, to kind of guide you on what to wear and how to wear it, and why it works for your body shape. So since the consultation, obviously, and after the consultation, what did you then do with that work wardrobe? Did you go and look at it in a completely different light? How did you kind of adapt that work wardrobe to help you move forward after the consultation?
Because actually the first thing I actually did, Lisa, because one of the things that really resonated, obviously you showed me all the styles and I could like see why certain things that I wear all the time I feel so good in, and I was like, oh, that's why, oh, that makes sense. What I actually did first was I went through my what I would say my everyday, my non-work wardrobe, because you made a point and you said, well, actually, Aimee, you are now, majority of your wardrobe, you're not at work.
Yeah.
So I was like,
what? 3 days and then the 4 days off. Yep.
Yeah. So what I thought was, right, what do I feel amazing in? What makes me feel really nice? And I went straight to those pieces, looked at why. I could see from what you told me from How to Dress for Your Body Shape, why I like those items. I thought, right, okay, why are they not work clothes? If I'm going to work and they make me feel great, why can't I wear them to work? And why can't I wear them out? Doesn't matter. Why have I got this in my head that I have to have 2 separate wardrobes? This is ridiculous. So that's actually how I started.
Okay.
So I started the other way around. I thought, right, I know the stuff that was in my work wardrobe I didn't feel great about. So I went with what makes me feel good and why. And I started then putting all those items together. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. And then I went through my work wardrobe and then did the similar thing and put everything back on. And when anything that I put on and instantly thought absolutely not, or even didn't even want to put on, went straight into a pile, and I'm either charity or selling or gifting or whatever. So that's what I've done with that. Some of the items actually that were in my work wardrobe, I actually will probably use for my, what I would say was but I'm trying to get out of that mindset now. But actually that's the way that I did it. So I just went to all the pieces I loved, all the things that I felt most comfortable in and that made me feel really nice or bougie or like, yes, I like this. And then I worked back from there.
And do you know what's really interesting? You use the word, like everybody probably knows that I bang on about the word feel. The times you just said, I picked out the pieces that made me feel good. I chose this because it made me feel good. And at the end of the day, everything we wear has to make you feel good. Whether it's a necklace that someone's given you as a present, to a pair of shoes that you absolutely love, it is about feeling good. And what's really interesting, as you were talking, I was sitting there thinking, you said I went back to the pieces that made me feel good and worked out why I liked them. So because of what we went through in the How to Dress Your Body Shape consultation, you then had the technicality information to go, okay, my gut reaction and my gut instinct draws me to these clothes, but now I've got the backup to understand why I'm drawn to these clothes. And I always say to people, do you know what? Your gut instinct is always right. If you think about it, we wear, you know, that statistic of 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time. There is a reason why people wear that 20%, and it's because they love it, they feel good in it, it gives them confidence, it creates a positive mindset. That's why they wear that 20% 80% of the time. And if you think about it, I was talking to Nicola from Worn by Us the other day, and she runs a resale and a resale and a recycling business. And what's really interesting, she said it's really interesting how people feel the need sometimes. They feel a bit bad when they buy like a secondhand piece or a recycled piece. And I said to her, yeah, but what's really interesting, the pieces of clothing that people resell, put up for resale, or they recycle, or they gift, are the pieces that they don't like. That's why it's come out of their wardrobe. So interestingly, that 20% that we wear all the time, that sometimes shows its wear, it's bobbled or things like that, those are the pieces we remove and we replace. We never gift, because we can't gift them because they've seen better days. Whereas the pieces that you gift have either only been worn twice, because instinctively you don't go to them. You avoid them like the plague, because you go, no, actually, I'd rather wear that jumpsuit. So, and that's what's really interesting. So how does your work, we call it your work wardrobe, how does your work wardrobe look now then?
Empty. It's bare. Because my work, I haven't got that. What I'm now doing is I now just have my wardrobe. So I went through and I organised it. So I don't even have in my current wardrobe, I don't even have segregation now. Everything is in my, I know, I've come along.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know, and I've only got one wardrobe. I mean, I still have some drawers to go through,
Yeah,
and I've still got some summer bits, because I was saying to you just before we came on that I've still got my summer box, which is my holiday clothes. And again, I don't know why I think they're holiday clothes and why I couldn't wear them in the UK, but for some reason, little hot pants don't feel right for me in the UK. But there we are. So I'm still got some work to do. But so I would say my wardrobe now is a lot more condensed. It's all the pieces that make me feel good. It's things that I now can take out. Like, I love a jumpsuit. So quite a lot of it is jumpsuits and jumpers. I love this time of year because I love the clothing. I love baggy jumpers. I love the colour.
I have to say it's my favourite as well.
Oh, I love it. So come summer, I start panicking because I just know. So my wardrobe now is just all the clothes that I love. I'm wearing a lot more of my I love a jumpsuit, so I'm wearing a lot more of my jumpsuits now to work, but I'm wearing them with different things. So before, I would never have really worn trainers, and I don't mean trainers in the sense of like...
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like pumps. I would never have worn those to work before, because for some reason in my head, they weren't work attire. But I've got a black pair with a bit of sparkle on the back, and I've got a pair of Aaron Grace, which I have to say are the most comfortable shoes ever. They were also a birthday present. The most comfortable shoes I've ever worn in my whole entire life. And I've managed to get those into my wardrobe. But I tend to, if I wear those, I'll put like a blazer, blazer or something on, or I'll maybe have more of a structured. I'm learning structured jumpsuit, rather than if I was wearing my like tailored trousers or something, I could get away with them. But if what I'm wearing is a bit less formal, then I'll put my Chelsea boots on, or I'll put a little ankle boot on or something, just to balance it out a little bit. So I feel nice now, and I feel like I could go to work, go for drink or dinner with the girls, or go out afterwards, and it kind of sees me all the way through.
Yeah. And do you know what's really lovely then? It sounds like even though you've condensed your wardrobe, you have more to wear.
Yeah. I think that's true.
And it's interesting because that's when ladies say sometimes, you know, if we do a wardrobe consultation, for example, they say, you know, are you going to take pieces out, Lisa? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to take them out only if I need to. But I promise you, whatever you take out, you'll still end up with more, because actually you will then wear all of your wardrobe. And then what happens is, say, for example, then, I don't know, you're shopping online, Aimee, or you're even in a high street, or you're in, I don't know, a supermarket. If you came across, for example, a shirt, you could think, actually, now, I know I've got that straight leg trouser that I can put with that shirt, which means I could wear it to work. But hang on a minute, if I wear that shirt and I put it with a pair of jeans and a pump or a pair of trainers, so then you can start to go, actually, that shirt is worth buying. So, for example, that's when we start talking more about investment pieces and things like that. It could be that, I don't know, the whole of your wardrobe is a mixture of, let me think, it could be real neutral tones. So it could be the oatmeals, the beiges, the whites, the navies, the blacks, the greys, etc. So then actually, if you then saw, I don't know, a checked pink and purple coat, you could go, do you know what? I can buy that, because actually that coat's going to go with everything else in my wardrobe. So if that coat cost you more than you would normally pay, from an investment piece, it works. Or say you see a blue blazer, for example, that you know you're going to wear, you could go, great, I could wear it with a t-shirt, I could wear it with straight trousers, I could wear it with jeans. And that's when suddenly, even though your wardrobe shrinks, you have way more versatility and way more flexibility. So you said about your friends, you know, going out and you're maybe going with your mum for a coffee, etc. Do you now feel that when you open up your wardrobe, even if you got an invitation, say tonight at 9 o'clock at night for tomorrow morning, you could go, no problem, I can go, I know what I'm going to wear, or I know I've got something in there that I'm going to feel good in?
Absolutely. I literally was just about to say that the biggest thing it has done now is I'm not panicking. Like it's a life change having a little person and then going back to work, getting into a new routine and things like that. So before I'd be like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? Oh my goodness, I've got to think about this. Have I got something? Where now I'm literally like, as long as my hair's washed and I've got time to put my makeup on, I literally can open my wardrobe and I can pick out anything and go, yep, absolutely fine. Like, I don't even need to think about it now. Where before that was an additional thing that would panic me, and I'd think, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to put on, and I'm going to have to get up earlier and work it out, or the one thing that I feel most comfortable in is in the wash. I haven't got around to washing and drying it and things like that. So yeah, I feel that it's taken a lot of pressure off. I feel that it's also saved me money in a really weird way. So before, I would just buy something in isolation. I was that person, like literally in Aladdin's cave. Oh, I like that, get it. Not even think about what it was going to go with, how I was going to pair it or anything. I liked it, took it home, and then was like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Yeah. What am I going to do with it?
Yeah, so one of the things that, like you say now, exactly the example you gave, is more of a case of, oh, I like that for this reason. Is it worth trying it on? Because I now have the experience from what you said of why it might suit me, might not suit me. If I've got time, I'll do it there. If not, I'll bring it home and do it when it's a bit calmer without little people around. And then see if it goes with the rest of my wardrobe, rather than like I'd just buy something and hope I'd manage to make it work and then forget I've got it. It's sit in the wardrobe and I go, oh yeah, I forgot I got that. And find that actually I've bought 2 or 3 things very similar and they're still sat there with the tags on because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to put them with.
Yeah. But then do you know what as well? When you do start to look at your wardrobe in more detail, and listen, I fully understand that a lot of people go, yeah, but I haven't got time. Sometimes I get that. I absolutely get that. But sometimes if you know what's in your wardrobe, it does make it easier. So,
Absolutely.
if you think, I don't know, say you're out and you buy you see a really nice pair of, say a lovely pair of camel coloured pleather culottes this season, and you can go, do you know what, I really like those, they're very my style. And then you can think, well, hang on a minute, in my winter wardrobe I've got 4 jumpers that would go with those, I've got a shirt that would go with those, I could wear it for a really nice date night with a heel and blah blah blah. And then suddenly you go, it's really worth me buying those because
Absolutely.
it's going to work with the rest of my wardrobe. And that's where it's a mindset change. My daughter is 17 years old, and interestingly, she's lived with me obviously all her life, so she has that mindset. And it's really interesting. When she buys something, she goes, oh, I've just bought that green tracksuit, but that's going to go with my, and she says it just rolls off her tongue because it is a mindset thing. Because in the end of the day, you can have, you have the right pieces in your wardrobe that work for your personality, they work for your lifestyle, they work for your body shape, and that is what we want to get to, because then you become confident. And like you said, it saves you so much time.
Oh, it does. And also, Lisa, one of the other things that has also helped me do is, before I would think I needed a summer and a winter wardrobe. And yes, to a certain extent, that's true. Like, you're not going to wear a thick jumper in the summer. I appreciate that. But like I said, I am a lover of jumpsuits. I think I have a bit of a jumpsuit addiction, that and Mulberry handbags, unfortunately. But one of the things with the jumpsuits is I've got a few that are plain. I have a plain black one, but I've worn that in the summer with a bright pink handbag or bright shoes. But then in the winter now, I'll put a jumper over the top of it. So I'm looking at things of how can I wear them in the summer and in the winter, and how can I layer them? So although not everything's transferable, I appreciate that. But again, that I love that item. It makes me feel great. How can I transition it through the seasons so that I can carry on wearing it? And also, you said about not everyone has the time, but with the thing that I found with after speaking to you and being encouraged and feeling really empowered to go and have a look at what I was wearing, I did it a little bit at a time. It doesn't need to be over, because if you sit there and you think, I've got to go through my wardrobe, and you open it, you feel completely overwhelmed and you think, oh my goodness, all this new information. I literally started with the bits I loved and why I loved it. And I think that is a great, I don't know what
great
you would
starting point.
Great starting point, because there's reasons you love those things. And even if they didn't tick every single box that you may have said it's because of this, and this, I still had enough of an understanding to know why I loved it. So I had my absolute love pile. And that just took centre stage in my wardrobe. And then I worked around there. So, you know, if I was having a coffee and the baby was asleep, I'd go up and I'd just have another look through a few other items. Or it doesn't need to be a massive, overwhelming thing necessarily. Some people do like to set the time aside and just go and purge on it. But I think that for me worked really, really well. And, you know, I think that if other people are considering it, would be as a way that I would say, if you feel a bit overwhelmed, as a really good way to start, because you've got items that you love, then you can see why you love them and compare them to other things. And then you've got a benchmark, haven't you?
Yeah, no, and that's it. And then, do you know what? Then you start enjoying your wardrobe, and it doesn't become hard. It is just that lovely place that you open up every morning and go, yes, I've got this, this, and this, or I can do, you know, A, B, and C with this. And you know, it goes back to then things like, if you think about it, right, when you go on holiday, you pack a suitcase, right, for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. But mad how you can live out of a suitcase for 2 weeks, but 2 weeks at home you'd be like, oh my god, it's mad.
It's amazing how 2 weeks in a suitcase you can have these amazing outfits that you can change, and you can do that for every evening that you go out, and la la la, and then you get home and you go 2 weeks. Oh no, now what am I going to do? But actually, and that's where, if you treat people do it when they go on holiday, they create a capsule wardrobe in their suitcase, because they know they can only take a certain amount of clothes and accessories and shoes. And they go, right, okay, well, if I take 5 bottoms, 10 tops, 5 dresses, 2 pairs of shoes, that all goes together, therefore I'm done for the 2 weeks. But actually, that's exactly the same mindset for your wardrobe. You go, right, hang on a minute, I've got those trousers, those tops, that dress, those skirts, that coat, those blazers, that accessories, those shoes, bang, it all goes together. It's a capsule wardrobe is only, well, it's called a capsule wardrobe is a small selection of clothes that creates numerous outfits. That's it. And when you get to that, but now you're at the point of that, because like you said, you've streamlined your wardrobe, therefore you're in that zone now of mixing and matching, and then what you buy you add and change. I was also going to say, when you were talking about your jumpsuit and you said I'm going to move it through into winter, do you know what you could put over one of the top of them now? You could put any of those lovely knitted vests that we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go a full jumper if you don't want to. So your black jumpsuit you could put over one of the stunning kind of Pringle checked, you know, knitted vest, and that would look stunning. You could go with the pinks and the greens and the purples, you know, or you take it quite traditional and you go down like the heritage check. You can do so much with things like that. But listen, I really appreciate you coming and sharing your story with me, having a chat. I hope everybody has had a great time listening to it. I hope you managed to pick up a few hints and tips along the way. Aimee, thank you so much for spending the time. And I'm really glad you're enjoying your wardrobe.
I am. I'm loving it. Thank you ever so much. And I just want to say, and anyone out there that's thinking about it or looking for a gift idea, it was an absolutely fantastic gift, and it's something that, you know, I'm still taking on board now, and I'm hoping that I might have some more, Lisa, and we can go shopping, hint hint, if anyone's listening, for Christmas.
You're trying to hope that your mum's listening or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's that time of year though, isn't it, you know, that we all drop hints. You know, it's that kind of, where are we, November, and you kind of go, we are running up to Christmas, and it is like, now we are going to start dropping the hints. Aimee, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you to everybody who's listening, and we will see you all next week. Thanks ever so much. Bye.